The next morning starts with silence. No calls, no messages, just the echo of last night. But silence never lasts long with my family. By noon, my phone floods with notifications. Mom, Aunt Lisa, even cousins I barely know. Each message sounds the same. Your father is worried. Family comes first. Don't embarrass us, Adrien. Different mouths, same script. They must have a group chat just for this. Mom sends a photo of my brother's fiancé. Pretty, polished, perfect. The kind of girl who says, family means everything. The kind of girl my parents always wanted me to be. I scroll through her smiling face, my stomach twisting. Then Dad's voice fills my voicemail. You'll regret this selfishness. He says it like a prayer, like he's saving my soul. But what if I don't want to be saved? What if I just want to breathe? I delete the message before it finishes. The next one arrives 5 minutes later. This time from my aunt. Your father is well. The least you can do is show up. I almost laugh. He's well enough to coordinate a guilt campaign. 8 months of silence. Now they remember I exist. Not when I moved, not when I got promoted. Only now, when a chair at the table is empty. I text back one line. I'm not coming. 3 dots appear, then vanish. Then appear again. Then her final reply. You've changed. Good, that's the point. I put my phone face down and let the quiet settle. But quiet has its own voice. It hums with the words I didn't say. The ones stuck behind years of obedience. Memories bleed through like old film. Mom serving dinner, smiling at Coy. Dad asking about his grades. Then the silence when it's my turn. The fork tapping against my plate. The sound of being invisible. I remember begging for a ride to the coding camp. Maybe next year, Mom had said. 2 weeks later, they found money for Coy's program. I told myself it didn't matter. That hard work would make them proud someday. It never did. Now, their disappointment feels lighter. Like a coat that finally stopped fitting. My phone buzzes again. This time it's a call from Mom. Her voice trembles just enough to sound sincere. Sweetheart, we're only asking you to be there for one night. Her tone is sugar wrapped around steel. Your brother deserves your support. I almost tell her I supported him my entire life. That I clapped at his every award, even when no one clapped for mine. But I just say, I can't. She sighs, the sound of defeat or performance. Fine, don't come crying when you realize what you've lost. The line goes dead. I stare at the cracked mug, still on my counter. Maybe it's fitting. Some things have to break before they stop hurting you. Outside, rain hits the window. Inside, I finally stop shaking. For the first time, defiance feels like peace. That night, sleep refuses to come. The dark hums with voices I thought I buried. Childhood memories crawl out like ghosts. I see the dinner table again. Coy laughing, Dad proud, Mom radiant. And me, silent at the corner. Invisible, but expected to smile. Don't frown, Mom used to whisper. You ruined the photo. The photo, always the photo. Every family moment a stage performance. Every smile rehearsed. Every silence assigned. I learned young that peace meant pretending. That love had conditions I could never meet. When I was 17, a letter changed everything. Accepted to a coding camp, full scholarship. I remember running to Mom, breathless with hope. She read it once and set it down. We can't afford the bus fare, she said. Her voice final, no room for argument. I nodded, pretending to understand. 2 weeks later, Coy got his own letter. Leadership program in Chicago. Dad clapped his shoulder, eyes bright with pride. We'll make it work, he said. I watched them drive away that morning. My acceptance letter folded in my pocket. The ink smudged from holding it too tight. I spent the summer cleaning tables at a diner. Coy sent photos of his trip, suits, seminars, success. Mom printed them, framed them, lined the hallway. My walls stayed empty. I told myself it didn't hurt. But lies have a weight, and mine never stopped growing. Years later, when I moved away, no one said goodbye. Just silence, as if leaving wasn't rebellion but relief. Maybe for them it was. Now, 8 months later, the silence ends only when they need me. They call it family duty. I call it convenience. I scroll through my old photos, the few I kept. In each one, Coy is centered, glowing. I'm there too, half cropped, half seen. That's how I learned my place. To exist quietly so others could shine. But tonight, something shifts. Maybe defiance grows in small moments. Maybe it starts with one simple thought. I deserve to exist in full. I open my laptop and search, family estrangement stories. Hundreds appear. Different names, same pain. Daughters who said no. Sons who left. People who learned peace was louder than apology. I read until dawn. Some talk about guilt, others about freedom. I feel both, heavy and strange. But mostly, I feel seen. At sunrise, I make coffee in a new mug. The old one stays broken, swept into the trash. The kitchen smells like beginning again. My phone vibrates with a message from Dad. Think about what you're doing. I stare at the screen and type back. I already have. Then I block the number. Outside, the world is quiet. Inside, I finally am too. 3 days pass before the next storm. It starts with a Facebook tag from Mom. A photo of the family at dinner. Smiling faces, raised glasses. The caption reads, "So grateful for everyone together again." Everyone but me. Comments pile up beneath it. "You have such a lovely daughter, Mrs. Nguyen. She looks just like you." Mom replies with a heart emoji. The daughter they mean is my cousin Mai. I scroll down numb. They erased me and replaced me like it was easy. By evening, the calls begin again. My aunt, pretending concern. People are asking why you disappeared. My cousin, fake sympathy. "You should talk to your mom, she's so hurt." I almost laugh. Hurt people don't post brunch photos. Hurt people don't host engagement parties. Control people do. By midnight, I mute the family group chat. But curiosity pulls me back the next morning. Hundreds of messages. Screenshots, gossip, accusations. Mom says I've changed since moving west. Dad calls me ungrateful. Coy writes that I'm jealous of his success. Jealous of what? Approval I never had. A life built on pretending. I save every message in a folder labeled proof. It feels strange, documenting my own family. But experience taught me they rewrite everything. I won't let them this time. That afternoon, a text from a private number arrives. "Your family says you're unstable. Should we be concerned?" It's signed, HR manager. My heart slams against my ribs. They reached my workplace. The one place I built for myself. I call immediately, explaining calmly. "A misunderstanding," I say. My voice shakes anyway. After the call, I lock my accounts. Private, hidden, guarded. I remove old photos, delete old posts. Every trace of vulnerability gone. Then I sit in the quiet, breathing through the panic. The walls feel closer, the air too thin. But I keep repeating one sentence. They can't touch me here. That night, my phone rings again. The name on the screen makes me freeze. Grandma. I answer before I can think. "Lynn, sweetheart," she says softly. Her voice breaks something open in me. I wanted to say I understand. Tears blur my vision. "You do," I whisper. "I've watched how they treat you for years," she says. "Sometimes leaving is the kindest thing you can do for yourself." Her words settle like balm on a wound. For the first time, someone doesn't ask me to explain. Someone simply believes me. We talk for an hour. About her garden, about freedom. When the call ends, I'm still crying but lighter. I make a decision. No more reacting, no more fear. I start a new document. Dates, messages, names. A clear record, just in case. If they want to play games, I'll play smart. I rename the file Truth. And for once, the word feels like armor. The doorbell rings just after sunset. I almost don't answer. But curiosity wins. Outside stands a woman I've only seen in photos. Caroline, my brother's fiancée. Perfect hair, trembling hands. Can we talk? She asks. I step aside. She doesn't sit, just looks around my small apartment. So this is where you've been hiding. Her tone isn't cruel, just uncertain. I'm not hiding, I say quietly. She nods, eyes darting to the framed certificate on my wall. Your family said you left because you were jealous. The word lands heavy. Jealous, their favorite label for my independence. I meet her gaze. Is that what you think too? She hesitates. I don't know what to think anymore. I gesture to the table where my laptop waits, open. Then let me show you something. I scroll through the folder named Truth. Screenshots, messages, photos. Caroline leans in silent. I show her the posts where my mother erased me. The texts where my father called me unstable. The photo from my graduation day. My parents at a baseball game instead. Her lips part. I had no idea, she whispers. Of course you didn't, I say. They're very good at storytelling. Her phone buzzes. My brother's name lights up the screen. She stares at it but doesn't answer. Then she hands it to me. Put it on speaker, I say. She nods. Caroline, where are you? His voice sharp, practiced. With Adrien, she replies softly. He exhales hard. Leave now, she's lying to you. I glance at Caroline. Ask him about my graduation, I whisper. Your sister said your parents didn't come, she says into the phone. There's silence. Then fumbling words. They were sick. I click a photo open. My parents smiling at the game, same date, same time. Caroline stares at it pale. Is that true? She asks him. He hesitates too long. She's twisting everything, he snaps. His charm cracks into rage. Come home, Caroline, now. Her hand shakes. She ends the call without a word. The room feels lighter after the silence returns. She sits finally, folding her hands. I thought I was marrying into a good family. I smile, not out of joy but recognition. I thought I was born into one. For a long moment, neither of us speaks. Outside, the streetlights flicker to life. I don't know what I'll do, she says. You'll figure it out, I tell her. You just have to decide whose version of truth you can live with. She nods slowly, eyes bright with something fierce. Before leaving, she turns at the door. Would you still come to the wedding? I pause. Maybe not the wedding, I say. But I'll be there when you need the truth again. After she's gone, I close my laptop. The folder stays open on the screen. Proof of a story finally told. Proof that I am no longer the liar in theirs. Friday morning begins too quiet. Even the air feels cautious. Then the receptionist calls my desk. There's a group here asking for you. My stomach drops. 3 figures stand in the lobby. Dad in his pressed suit. Mom twisting her pearls. Koi staring at the floor. Every nightmare suddenly real. 15 minutes, Dad says. Family matter. The whole office watches as I lead them to a conference room. I can feel eyes following us. The moment the door closes, Dad starts talking. We came to offer a compromise. He sounds like a doctor explaining a diagnosis. You attend the ceremony, sit quietly, leave before dinner. Mom nods, eyes watery but practiced. People are asking questions, sweetheart, ugly things. Coy adds softly, we just want peace. I almost laugh. Peace has never been what they wanted. Control, yes. Silence always. Peace, I repeat. Is that what you call blackmail? Dad's jaw tightens. Watch your tone. The same words he used when I was 12. The same tone that made me small. But I'm not small anymore. I don't owe you attendance, I say calmly. Mom's voice cracks into the space. You're humiliating us. I turn to her. You've been humiliating me for years. The words hang sharp and final. She gasps as if wounded. Dad leans forward. If you refuse, everyone will think you're the problem. I stand, walk to the screen on the wall. My calendar glows bright. Saturday, 10 a.m. House closing, it reads. My home, I say, turning back. 3 bedrooms, 2 baths, mine. Mom blinks like she didn't hear right. You bought a house. Yes, without your approval, or your money. I point to the award behind me. Also without your name on my achievements. For a second, no one speaks. Then Dad explodes. That selfish attitude is why no one respects you. I tilt my head. Selfish, like paying for Coy's rent while I worked 2 jobs. Mom whispers, don't twist history. I meet her eyes. You already did. The door cracks open slightly. My coworkers linger outside, pretending not to listen. Their presence steadies me. I think we're done, I say. Dad rises, face red. You could show some gratitude. For what? I ask. For turning me into your scapegoat. Silence swallows the room. Richard, my colleague, steps in. Everything okay here? I nod. My family was just leaving. Dad glares but says nothing. Mom clutches her purse like it might protect her. Coy looks small, unsure which side he's on. Richard holds the door open. They walk out. I stay standing, breath steady. No shaking. No fear. Just clarity. When the door shuts, I sit again. The whispers fade. The keyboard waits. I start typing, code flowing clean and sure. For once, I am exactly where I belong. A week later, sunlight spills through my new windows. Boxes half unpacked, laughter echoing down the hallway. Friends fill the rooms with warmth, not judgment. Richard hands me a drink, smiling. To new beginnings, he says. We raise our glasses. The sound feels like freedom. No one here asks me to prove my worth. No one measures me against anyone else. I breathe easier than I have in years. The walls hum with quiet joy. No guilt, no expectation. Just belonging. Later, Grandma calls. Her voice soft and full of pride. I saw the photos, she says. You built something beautiful. Thank you, I whisper. Caroline called me, she adds gently. She postponed the wedding. I pause, the words sinking in. She said truth doesn't vanish when people ignore it. I smile. Maybe she finally saw it too. That night, I host dinner for my friends. Homemade food, mismatched plates, easy conversation. Laughter rises, fills every corner of the house. It feels like music made of safety. Richard makes a toast halfway through. To Adrien, he says proudly. For building this place with her own hands. Everyone cheers. I look around the table. These faces, these voices, my chosen family. No one talks over me. No one corrects my story. Here, every truth is welcome. When the plates are cleared, I step outside. The air smells of rain and lilac. In the distance, the city hums quietly. My phone buzzes. Dad's name appears again. I hesitate, then answer. Caroline ended the engagement, he says flatly. I'm sorry to hear that, I reply. He exhales, uneasy. Your mother and I might have been too harsh. The pause that follows feels rehearsed. If you ever want to visit. I don't, I say softly. Not right now. He sighs, disappointed. You'll regret this stubbornness someday. No, I answer. I regret wasting so much time pretending. The silence stretches, but no longer hurts. When he hangs up, I don't feel hollow. I feel whole. Inside, the music starts again. My friends calling me back to the table. I leave the phone on the counter and return. The house glows in soft light. Grandma sits near the window, her eyes kind. She lifts her glass. To the family we choose, she says. To the peace we protect. We clink glasses. The sound rings clear, like a promise kept. Later, as the night fades, I stand in my new garden. Fresh soil beneath my feet, moonlight soft on the leaves. Tomorrow, I'll start my mentorship program. Girls who love coding but lack support. I'll teach them what no one taught me. That their voice matters. That they don't have to shrink to fit. For the first time, I'm not running from the past. I'm planting something new in its place. And it's finally growing. Morning light spills through the curtains. The house is quiet, but not empty. Peace fills the silence where fear once lived. I brew coffee, no shaking hands this time. The garden outside glows with new blooms. Each flower a small proof of survival. My phone buzzes with messages from my students. Questions about code, about courage. I smile, answering one by one. Their words remind me of who I became. Not the daughter who begged to be seen, but the woman who built her own light. Grandma's laughter drifts from the living room. She hums an old song about freedom. It fits perfectly here. I step outside, barefoot on cool grass. The air feels clean, like forgiveness. I glance at the sky and whisper a quiet truth. Family isn't who claims you. It's who stands beside you when you start over. The wind carries the words away, gentle and sure. Behind me, the house stands steady. Ahead, the day waits, wide and bright. And for the first time, I don't look back.